right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this session on digitizing human-driven processes. My name is Karan Srivastav, and I'm a program manager on Flow. So in today's session, I really hope to help all of you learn about the capabilities that Flow has to model people interaction within automated processes, about how you go about adding people inside of your business process. Speaking of which, before we dive into the human interactive element of business processes, let's talk about business process all up. A business process, quite simply, is just a sequence of tasks that you perform toward a business objective. So, for instance, your business objective might be something like increasing brand engagement on social media for your brand, or ensuring compliance with local laws for reimbursement of business expenses, or something like ensuring that your customers have high-quality, consistent interactions with customer service. In order to accomplish these business objectives, you might have a sequence of tasks. So for our first example, you might have something like, let's monitor Twitter. And every time somebody mentions our brand in a tweet, let's figure out if it is negative. And if it is, let's find the right set of people to go ahead and respond to that tweet. This is extremely laborious, but can very easily be automated. Twitter is a service. There's services out there to do sentiment analysis. So it's not hard to imagine how you can take a tweet that mentions your brand on Twitter, send the tweet to a sentiment analysis service that then figures out whether it's positive or negative, and if it is negative, sends that tweet to the right people so they can respond to it. On ensuring compliance on business expenses, your task might look like something like, upload a receipt image, then go ahead and enter line items for every expense that you want reimbursed, send that to somebody who's in a position of authority and accountability to, decide whether it's legitimate or not, and then if they do deem it to be legitimate, send it to payroll to reimburse. This is a process that is mostly automatable. You can completely automate the task of taking an image of an expense receipt, sending it to a service that does OCR to extract the line items, and send that to the right person to make the decision. However, it does require a person to make the crucial decision of whether or not these are legitimate expenses. Once they deem it to be legitimate, of course, you can completely automate the task of sending and updating payroll. Our last example on ensuring consistent high-quality customer service interactions. Let's say that we sell televisions, and a customer calls us about a TV. They might call us for a whole host of reasons, ranging from where's my order for a replacement remote that my dog ate, to how do I use these features on my TV, or if there's something genuinely broken. And it requires a human talking to this person to interact with them and get the guidance they need so they can help resolve these customer issues. So sort of the theme that you might pick up here is the fact that, yes, there are tasks that can be sequenced to accomplish a business objective. Some of them can be completely automated. Some of them require people, right? And conversely, your business processes range from completely automatable to completely people-driven. Now, in the real world, business processes are a bit of both. You might have segments of your process that can be automated. You have segments that require people to get involved, make a decision, and you have segments that are completely people-driven. Microsoft Flow is a comprehensive offering to help you model these real-world business processes. With automated flows, you have access to a pool of over 250 plus connectors to automate across systems and services. With approvals, you can get people involved to make crucial decisions within automated flows. That's our second example. And for cases where it's primarily people-driven, you have business process flows to give them guidance to help walk them through all the manual tasks they need to perform. So with that, our session is really going to be focused on two things: approvals and business process flows. So quick show of hands, how many of you are aware of approvals in flows or have used approvals in flows? All right, that's a good sign, decent number. So for those of you who aren't familiar with it, approvals, that you request approvals inside of an automated process. This is an example where you would have somebody look at your expense receipts to determine whether or not these are legitimate business expenses. You can respond to an approval request right from Flow, from the Flow mobile app, from Teams, or right from the actionable email that you get sent. You can send an approval to one person or to a list of people, and you can also decide how you resolve the decision. In some cases, it might be the first person from a group of people to respond. In other cases where you have committees or voting panels, you might need to wait for everybody to respond before deciding what the outcome of the approval is. And of course, once you have the outcome, you combine it with your business logic inside of your automated flow to take appropriate action. To give you a sense of how people are using approvals, let me tell you about the Lind Group. So the Lind Group is a leading gas and engineering company headquartered in Germany and a presence in over 100 countries. They have an IT team that prepares documentation for emergent tech to share with users. Now, because this is documentation and manuals, it does need to meet a certain quality bar, a certain standard. So they had a need for a process that whenever a document is uploaded, it is actually sent to review. Furthermore, emerging tech is sort of a broad term. It could be in many different categories. So depending upon sort of the category of emerging tech that the manual was written on, it needed to be sent to the right set of people to review it and ensure it for correctness. The Lind Group was able to take this process and completely automate it. Whenever a document was uploaded to a specific folder, it sent an approval request to the right set of people to decide whether or not it was good to be published or whether it needed edits. Similarly, we have VN SHS. So they're based in New York State, and they provide services for of dietitians, physical therapy, and so on for people who are recently discharged from hospitals. They have a business-critical process that requires any incident report that's been created by a caseworker to be reviewed and approved. This is fundamental to how they operate. And if they don't receive approval on that particular report, it needs to be escalated. Again, this is an example of a process that they were able to completely automate using Flow. So, as we've seen, approvals are a great way to get people involved to make key decisions inside of automated flows. So a quick show of hands, how many of you here are familiar with business process flows or have built or used business process flows? Okay, slightly lesser, but still not a bad amount. So for those of you who aren't familiar with business process flows, business processes are stateful human interactive flows in Flow. At high order, they are comprised of two things: a stage, which sort of tells you where you are in your process, and steps, which are the manual tasks that need to be performed. Just like automated flows, business process flows support conditional logic. So based upon certain outcomes from performing manual tasks, you can decide what next set of stages and tasks should be performed. So for instance, let's say we have a process for selling cars. Depending upon whether the customer is interested in a new or a pre-owned car, you might have a very different set of questions you might want to ask them. And the way you proceed with your sale might be very different. Business process flows let you model these sorts of interactions. In addition, business processes provide you high-level KPIs to tell you how much time you spent in a stage, how much time you spent in the overall process, and are available to use inside of model-driven apps. To give you a sense of how this is being used, let me tell you about Metrobank. So Metrobank is a high street bank headquartered in the UK, and is in fact the first new bank to be on the scene in over 150 years. And the way they're sort of tackling their market is by trying to solve customer pain points within the banking industry. So things like complex rules, long waits, confusing processes. Metrobank uses business process flows fundamentally within the organization. They have over 50 of them defined for a whole host of scenarios. They use these to start, manage, escalate, resolve, and measure every single process that is the bedrock of their organization. Just to give you an example of the impact they've seen with it, they have a process on opening business accounts. Now, these can be fairly convoluted and complex, but using BPFs, or business process flows, they've gotten it to a point where a prospective customer can walk into a retail location and in under 30 minutes walk out with an account open and an active card. The beauty of both approvals and business process flows is that they share a common substrate, that is the common data service. Business processes are defined on the common data service. Both approvals and business process flow run information is stored inside of the common data service. What this means is that you can leverage information about these runs inside of any of the Power Platform assets. You can use them inside of apps, inside of Power BI reports, and more. So to show you what that looks like, let me first log into my computer. Right. So to show you what this looks like, this is an example of a Power BI dashboard that I've built for process analytics. What you see here is a complete map of how people progress through a business process flow. So on the left-hand side here, I have all the business process flows that are defined in my organization. I can filter them based upon whether they're active or abandoned or finished. I can slice them over time, over when they were created. Along the top, I have high-order bit metrics as to how many times this process has been used, how many runs are active, how many runs are finished and abandoned, and so on. I also have high-order bit information about the average amount of time that is spent in the process. Along the bottom here, you see that I actually have a complete graph telling me how people go through this process. In fact, I can also, so let's say that I want to go ahead and see how people just progress through all of my sales processes. So I have the lead to opportunity sales process here, but I can also pick the opportunity sales process. And again, because all of this data is stored in the common data service, my graph refreshes, and now I have a much deeper graph across both these sales processes to see what percentage of my deals go directly to develop, what go to qualify, where they fall off, where they're successful. I can also get a view of my process by time to figure out where in these business process flows are people spending most of their time. So you can see that across both processes, about 80% of the time is spent in the qualify stage. Now, if I'm trying to optimize this process, that is clearly a problem. My deals should not spend 80% of their time in trying to get qualified. Furthermore, I can sort of view a combined summary of both the pathways that you take through the actual process, as well as the time spent. So again, all of this is possible because of the data that lives in the common data service. You can also filter down based upon certain information. So for instance, if I want to see all the processes that are finished, I see how they actually traversed through the path, but also where they spend their time. Now this is much better because you see that they spend about 30% of the successful processes, spend 30% of the time in qualify, 10% on close, and most of their time in sort of contract negotiations. So in this way, you can begin to identify what makes your processes successful, what the bottlenecks are, where they fail, so you can begin to iterate and improve on them. So that was a really quick summary of business process flows. Any questions at this point? Yes, one middle.
What was that Power BI graph that was transforming as you were going through?
You mean the pathway graph?
Yes.
It's called a force-directed graph. Yeah. All right. So now that we know what approvals are and what business process flows are, let's talk about the new capabilities that we've invested in on the flow team. So we've been pretty busy over the last 6 months. And as some of you may know, we've recently added support for custom responses in approvals. So previously, if you used an approval, the only way to respond to it was either approve, reject. But keep in mind, approvals are a great way to just get decisions inside of an automated process. And sometimes approve and reject are not sufficient to convey a decision. For instance, let's say I wanted to request approval on a discount. I might want to respond with discount limits I'm authorized to offer versus just saying, yes, you can give a discount or not. This is where custom response options and approvals becomes valuable. Just as any other approval, you can respond to them from the Flow portal, from the mobile app, from Teams, or from the actionable email that you get in Outlook. This is a premium offering, and so you will require Flow Plan 1 or higher in order to use custom response options and approvals. In addition, we've also split the actions of creating and waiting on an approval. So previously, when you created an approval request, you sent an approval request, it would stop execution of your automated flow. However, there are scenarios where you might want to send the approval request, continue to run some of your business logic until you get to a point where you absolutely need that decision or the approval to continue forward. Using the split create and wait actions, you can now do this. You can use the create action to send an approval request, and then once you've done with your business logic, use the wait action to stop flow execution until you have a response. For instance, you can use this to create an approval request, post an adaptive card for the approval on Teams, and then wait for a response. We've also added support quite recently to send approvals to guest users in Azure AD. So previously, you could only involve those people within your organization in approvals. Now you can involve people outside of your organization in approvals using using guest users in Azure AD. Guest users that are in Azure AD to approvals are just like any other user in your organization. So you can involve them in any part of your approval process. We've also been fairly busy adding new things to business process flows. So recall that business process flows are just a series of steps or action items that are comprised in stages. Now, in a business process flow, all of the manual tasks are actually stored on the common data service. And so what we've been able to do is bring in the rich controls that are enabled by the Power Apps component framework into business process flow stages. So now, for instance, if you have an action item to decide how much discount to offer to a customer, instead of simply typing in a number, you can use a slider to adjust how much you offer. If you want to visualize the probability of you closing a deal, instead of just having a number show there, you can now use an arc knob to show you how far along you are and what the probability is of you closing a deal with the customer. These rich visuals in business process flows are available today in preview for you to use. Also coming soon is a preview to run automated flows right from inside a business process. So previously, business process flows were, all the tasks within a process flow were either manual fields that you entered information into, or fields that you could trigger actions from, CDS actions from. With this new release, you'll now be able to add an automated flow as a button inside of a business process. And finally, we have what was formerly the approval center, now action items in Flow. With action items, we're really trying to bring all of the things that need people to be involved in your process in one place. So with Flow action items, you're able to see your approvals as well as the business process flows that need your attention all in the Flow portal. This is going to be available fairly soon. So to get a quick look at what all of this looks like, so here I am on my, so in this particular demo, I'm going to play the role of a sales rep. And I'm currently working with my team on trying to close a deal. I'm in my sales model-driven app, and along the top, you can see the business process flow. I'm currently in the propose stage, and if I click in on it, you see all of the different manual tasks that me and my team have had to get done. One of the things you see here is that I need to request a proposal review. Now, one of the things our internal processes dictate is that before we present anything to a customer, we have that reviewed. And so to request a review of this proposal, I simply hit the Run Flow button. What that's going to do is it's going to log me into Flow. It's going to set up all the connections that I need. And then it's going to confirm whether or not I want to run this flow. In addition, if this flow requires any inputs, it's going to get those from me at this time as well. So this particular flow needs me to provide a link of the content that needs to be reviewed. So I'm going to add that here and simply hit Run Flow. And just like that, I've been able to very easily request review on a proposal. Now, switching gears a little bit, I'm going to play the role of the sales manager. And I'm on the go a lot because I have a large sales team that's spread across. And we use teams very heavily in the company. Using Flow, I'm now able, because I have the split create and wait actions, I've been able to create a flow and then post an adaptive card to teams. I can respond to this approval right from the chat. Furthermore, to kind of keep track of what all the things that I'm involved in, I can also go into the action items within the Flow portal. So here you see under action items, I have both approvals and business process flows. If I click in on business process flows, you'll see a list of all of the BPF it runs that I am involved in. In this case, I'm involved in 2 BPFs, the opportunity sales process and a lead to opportunity sales process. Similarly, if I click on approvals, you'll see the familiar list of all of the approvals that I am involved in. So in this case, I have an approval pending in me to respond to this proposal review. Clicking in on it, I have a couple of options to respond to it with. I can accept the proposal. I can respond with the fact that this proposal requires updates, or reject it. So here I can describe the updates that I need, and then go ahead and respond to this proposal. What you would also notice, if we go back to the approval request here, is that this approval is able to pull in information about the business process flow by telling me that this opportunity is in the proposed stage. Furthermore, it's also able to pull in information related to the business process flow by giving me the name of the opportunity. So to see how all of this was actually built, let's take a quick look at the flow. So what I have here is the flow that we just ran. The flow runs with the when a record is selected trigger, and then goes ahead and parses information that comes through about the business process flow. So using this parse JSON step in the preview, you'll be able to get all the information that you need about the business process, things like the active stage, how long, who it was last modified by, and so on. Once I have all of that information, I can also go ahead and get the opportunity record that's related with the business process flow run. Next, I go ahead and use the split create and approval action. In doing this, I also use custom responses to provide a choice of 3 options. I give it a title, I use the name of the opportunity that I got from my business process flow record, and then fill in a whole bunch of details that are relevant to this particular approval. Finally, once the approval is sent, I then post an adaptive card to Teams. This is the adaptive card that we saw that you can respond to respond to the approval. At this point, I've run all the business logic I need to, and I really need to understand what the outcome is. So I use the wait for an approval action to pause execution of this flow until such time that I have a response to my approval request. Once I have a response to an approval request, I can decide what I do with the outcome. So in this case, if the outcome is approved, I'm going to go ahead and update the manual step in my business process flow to mark it as complete, to say that my proposal review is complete. If it's anything else, I'm going to reset it because that is a manual step that still needs to be done. So what we just saw here is how you can combine business process flows, automated flows, and approvals to really simplify your overarching business process, in this example for sales. So we're also planning on being fairly busy in the next 6 months. And we have a whole bunch of cool things planned for both approvals and business processes. The first is attachments approvals. This has been something we've heard tremendous feedback on, and is something we will be releasing quite soon. So previously with approvals, if you wanted to provide some content that needed to be reviewed, you would have to provide a link to that document or to that file. While this works great for a lot of scenarios, especially when it's like reviewing documentations or proposals, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when the whole point of that file is for the approval. Take, for instance, our scenario of reviewing and approving business expenses. The only value of the receipt that you upload is the fact that it's needed for the approval. So with attachments and approvals, you will now be able to actually attach a file directly to the approval. You can attach files up to 50 MB in size. You can access these files directly through the email that you get or through the Flow portal. These files are, again, stored in the common data service on the approvals entity. This is also going to be a premium feature, and so in order to use attachments and approvals, you will require Flow Plan 1 or higher. And finally, I am super excited to announce the fact that we're now adding immersive business process flows. So immersive business process flows are a new type of business process. These do not require model-driven apps and come with their own rich configurable forms that you can design. So you can add tabs, you can add sections and columns. They're backed by the Power Apps component framework, so you can also add the rich visuals that you use in model-driven apps. You can, in fact, embed Canvas apps within these forms. With immersive business process flows, when you start a run of a business process, you own it. And to get people involved, you need to share that particular run. Again, just like business process flows, these do require CDS and will also be available with flow plan too. So at this point, we have really a couple of types of business processes. So just to kind of compare and contrast between the two. Immersive business process flows are defined independently. They come with their own rich forms for related content, whereas the business process flows available today, or the embedded experiences, are defined on existing entities inside of the common data service. These are embedded inside of the forms of these entities. Unlike the embedded experiences, immersive business process flows don't require model-driven apps, whereas in the embedded experience, in order to use it, you do need to define a model-driven app. The way you collaborate on these processes is also different. With immersive business processes, you share the actual run with people, whereas in the embedded experiences, you share the underlying records that are associated with the business process. So for instance, if you are working on a deal, you would share the actual record that is associated with that deal, say an opportunity. So when do you use what type of process? When do you use an immersive process versus an embedded experience? These immersive experiences are ideally suited to model multi-stage approvals, things like contract review processes, after-meeting follow-ups, onboarding, training, anything where the focus is a human-driven process. In the case of embedded processes, these are best used for delivering guidance where there is value in the artifact beyond the process. So again, let's take an example of a sales process. The actual record about, say, the opportunity is valuable beyond of the process of actually selling. It can be used for account planning, for forecasting, for sales performance management, by a whole bunch of different roles within the organization. So if you have scenarios where there is value in preserving a record outside of a business process flow, we recommend using the embedded experience. However, if the only purpose is to actually model a business process, we recommend using the immersive experience. So this is still very much a work in progress, but to give you a sneak peek of what this will look like in preview, I have a quick little demo prepared. So in this particular scenario, we're going to try and onboard new hires using a business process. Let's say that our process looks high order bit something like this. We need to first get some information about the employee, so basic stuff like the full name, personal email address, phone number they can be contacted at. We need to make sure we have their emergency contact information. We need to know whether they need any assistance with immigration. Finally, we need to go ahead and assign them the resources they need, so like an email address, the computers and devices they might need, give them an HR contact. And finally, follow up with them on their first day. Make sure they go to their day one training, make sure we've confirmed that all the personal information we have about them is correct, and schedule like a follow-up check-in in about a month to see how they're doing. Let's see how we would actually model this using an immersive business process. So here I am inside of the Flow portal on the Business Process Flow tab. And to create an immersive process, I simply hit the plus new button along the top, give it a name, let's say and in the common data service entity, I simply hit none. Now when I click next, what this is going to do is actually going to create an entity in the common data service specifically for this business process. This entity will not only store information about each individual run, but will also store every bit of information you capture as part of these manual tasks inside of the process. So let's go ahead and edit this process here. Let's try that one more time. Right, so while this loads up, what this is doing is actually, while it's bringing up the designer, also bringing in information from the entity we just created in the common data service. As you can see, we've already got one stage added on the designer for us, and a data step added in it for us. Let's go ahead and give this stage a name. I believe it was employee information, and hit apply. Let's also go ahead and add our first manual task. In this case, it was the name of the employee. And we're done. We've just added our first stage and our first manual task. I'm going to go ahead and update this business process to save my changes. Now, while that's happening, I noticed that we didn't have all of the fields we needed on this business process flow for all of the other manual tasks we needed to perform. So to add those fields, I simply go ahead and click on this link. This is in the preview, this is going to take you to Power Apps to specifically update the entity that we made for the business process. Updating this entity is just like updating any other entity in the Common Data Service. You can go ahead and add fields, relationships, dashboards, you name it. So I'm going to begin by adding a few fields here. Say like personal email. And let's pick the type to be email. Similarly, I'm going to add information about the emergency contact. The emergency contact's email, and so on. Once I'm done adding all the fields for my business process, I simply go ahead and save any changes that I have for this entity. Once that's done, if I go back to my designer and reload it, it's again going to pull in the latest information that it has stored on its entity, all the latest fields that we just added. So now let's go ahead and continue to build our business process. To add a new data step, I'm simply going to go ahead, drag and drop the step into the designer. And I'm going to look for our personal email address field that we added and hit apply. To make sure that we always have a way of contacting this new hire, I'm going to make this step required. So you can't progress in the process without filling that out. Next, I'm going to add another stage. This is for emergency contact information. So I'm going to drag and drop it from my palette, give it a name, and start adding my data fields to it. So again, the emergency contact name, and let's add another step for the emergency contact email. In this fashion, I can continue to build out my process by adding stages and steps within those stages. Finally, once I'm done, I again hit the update button to save my changes. Now at this point, this will give you a business process flow that's end-to-end, comprised of stages and steps. However, immersive business processes also come with rich forms. Now, you don't have to have a form associated with an immersive process, but it is beneficial to have one. So to design a form for your business process, you simply select a stage, click on the link, and again, this is going to take you back to the CDS entity in Power Apps. From here, we can go ahead, once the entity loads, navigate to the Forms tab and see all of the forms that are available to us. So here, I click the Forms tab and open up our default form. This is going to open up the form for this business process in this WYSIWYG sort of designer. So it's super easy to go ahead and start customizing these forms for your processes. Along the left, you can see all of the different data fields that I have on the entity that's available for me to use. So I'm going to begin by adding a tab. Let's go ahead and make sure that we provide information about just the process run. So things like who owns this process, when you enter the stage, who started the process, who last updated the process, just so that you're aware of all of where this is in its end-to-end flow. So let's call this onboarding process facts. Next, I'm going to add a section. And within this section, I'm going to add, let's say, the person who is driving the process, the owner, and when the current stage that is active was started. So I have an idea of when we entered this stage and how much time we spent in it. Let's go ahead and add another section. Only this time we'll do 2 columns. Going to hide the label on that one. And in this, let's go ahead and add information about who started the process, who last updated the process. So let's go ahead and add the created by field to tell us who started it, and the created on field to tell us when it was started. Similarly, let's add the modified by field to tell us who last updated the process, and the modified on field to tell us when that happened. In this way, I can continue to add tabs and sections and fields and controls all to my immersive form for my BPF. Once I'm done, I simply hit save to save my changes, and then publish. So while that's happening, let me show you a full-fledged process that I actually built out. So after adding all of the stages and all of the data steps, your employee onboarding process might look something like this. So what we have here is our end-to-end process. We have our employee information stage with all of the data fields we need, followed by emergency contact information, immigration information, any resources our employee might need, and finally, following up on day one. To start running these business processes, I simply go to My Flows, go to the Business Process Flow tab, and click on the Run button against that business process. To resume an existing run, I simply go into Action Items and go to the Business Process Flows tab. So here I see a list of all of the business process flow runs that I have across all my processes. Let's go ahead and search for a new hire that I'm working with named Kim. So here is the particular run on onboarding Kim. When I click into it, it's going to go ahead and open that particular process instance. Now keep in mind, this required us building no model-driven app. All you had to do was add stages to this common data service entity, and then just define your stages and steps. So here we have it, our end-to-end business process flow with all of our stages, with all of our steps, as well as the form that we customize with all of the relevant information. All right. So these are things that are going to be available fairly soon, the new action items experience, as well as immersive business process flows. To give you insight into what's coming up with our investments in approvals and business processes, we will be delivering a brand new experience where you can dock a business process flow. So for those of you who are familiar with model-driven apps and business process flows, you know that you can today dock a stage to the right-hand side. We are now going to improve on this experience by delivering a new vertical layout. In this layout, you will have your stages listed from top to bottom. You click on a stage to expand it and see all the action items within it. This will allow for full interaction within the business process. So you can even do things like switching processes, abandoning a process, finishing a process, and so on. And this will be available for all types of business process flows. Next, we're also investing in offline availability for business processes. So this will be available in preview over the next few months. And finally, we intend to invest in approvals by allowing you to assign approvals to groups. This has been a popular ask, and so over the next 6 months, we do intend to allow you to send an approval to a Azure Active Directory group or an Office 365 Modern group. So, to very quickly summarize, what we've just seen is that Microsoft Flow really does provide you with a comprehensive offering to help you model your business processes. You can use automated flows to automate tasks across services, over 250 connectors available out of the box. You can use approvals to get decisions from people inside of your automated flows, and use business process flows when you need to have guided interactions on manual tasks. So, with that, before we move on to call to actions and sharing resources that you can use to get started with these, I'll open up the floor for any questions that you guys might have. Yes?
I work with a lot of business processes that also have dependencies on external motivation. Most often data arriving as a result of an hourly ETL
Yes, so the question was that there are business processes that span across a bunch of different services where there is a need to wait on updates that happen in them. You can absolutely do this with Flow today. So if you use an automated flow, you can pick a trigger such as when somebody updates something in SAP, for example, do a whole bunch of things. Conversely, you can also make updates to these different systems. So for instance, in our example of approving business expenses, if you received an approval on your receipt, you can go ahead and update your payroll system, regardless of what that might be. So absolutely. Yes? So the question was, we have data in SQL Server. Can we take advantage of the data in that and automate it and build business processes on top of that? So you can absolutely automate on top of SQL. Automated flows allow you to do that today. For business process flows and approvals, you will need the common data service. Yeah. Yes? Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah. So the question was, in the demo, I use an adaptive card to reference an adaptive card to post to Teams. Why and how? So with approvals, you can always create, so with flows, you can always post your own adaptive card that you design from scratch. However, with approvals, we decided to sort of short-circuit that interaction. It's a very common scenario to post it on a channel that people use quite often. So every time we create an approval, we also create a representation of what an adaptive card for that would look like with all of the important information about the approval. Furthermore, we also provide hooks into how you would process the response. So that's how you see those different buttons for the various different response options. So when you click in on those, it will actually resolve that approval request with your response. And so instead of building my own adaptive card, it's just much simpler to use the adaptive card that comes with dynamic content from approvals. Yes.
So if you add an adaptive card to a channel, then anybody who's part of that group or team will be able to action on that adaptive card?
So they will be able to see it. However, when they action on it, if it's assigned to you, it'll only resolve for you. So it's not like an approval was requested off of you, but because both of us work on the same team and on the same channel, I am able to respond to an approval assigned to you. Yeah. Yes, question back there. So the question was, let's say this conversation is happening on Teams chat. Is there a way I can trigger off of that chat and do automation in Flow? So Flow, I will need to double check this. We definitely have connections with Teams, and we can definitely take actions. I believe we also do have triggers of when a message is posted to a channel. So I think you can use that to accomplish your scenario. Yes, there was one more somewhere. Yes?
Why was the wait for approval in that? Because in the past, you would just wait anyway?
Yep.
What does that add?
Yeah, so the reason, I think the demo that we did on posting the adaptive card to team was an example of an illustration of that. So previously, without that, you would send an approval request and wait in the same action. What that meant is my next action for posting adaptive card to Teams wouldn't run until I got a response, kind of defeating the whole purpose.
So you can add actions.
Exactly. Exactly, until such time where you absolutely have to wait. Yes? Absolutely. So the question was, can you design multiple approvals at the same time? You can send multiple approval requests at the same time by adding multiple people on the tool line. You can also do parallel branches in automated flows. So you can send individual approval requests in parallel for different scenarios. So for instance, if you have to send approvals to 3 different departments, you can do that in parallel. So approvals by themselves are available with Flow free. However, any approvals that use custom response options or any approvals that will use attachments will require Flow Plan 1 and higher because these are premium capabilities. Gotcha. So the question was, what about licensing on immersive flows? So business process flows, both embedded and immersive, are only available in Flow Plan 2. Yes. So the question was, is attachments available in government cloud? It will be. Initially, we'll start rolling out in just our standard regions, but it will be available in government cloud. So the question was, what about signature capabilities for approvals? Are you referring to sort of like e-signing on approvals? So that is not something that is on our roadmap yet, but that is actually really interesting feedback. However, you can do sort of e-signing scenarios with automated flows today, where you can, we have out-of-box integrations with services like DocuSign and Adobe Sign. So you can very well pair approvals with those actions to sort of meet those kinds of needs today. Yes?
Does flow allow, like for input fields, for instance, in your example, someone is inputting data about first name, last name, and another one at the same time can input data about emergency contact and so on?
So the question was, can multiple people provide inputs at the same time? So in our immersive flow example, someone fills in first name, last name, while somebody else fills in emergency contact info. Absolutely, yes. So multiple people can take a look at that record and update it. The way the updates work is it'll basically go in the order of in the order in which they were done. So for instance, if you make an update to emergency contact and then I make an update to emergency contact, mine will override yours. So the question was, will you not see the update that I made? You will. So you will be able to see the updates that I make.
But I can still make an update on top of your update.
Yes, you can still make an update. Yep. Any other questions? Yes. Today you can, well, with what is coming soon, you'll only be able to send attachments. So you will need to tap or click on the attachment and download it to your device to be able to view it. Yes?
For your BPS, because you have multiple stages, but a BPS is really one record, how can you keep track of the duration of each stage, since technically that's kind of a one-to-many relationship?
Mm-hmm. So the question was, in a business process, because each run or record only stores information about the stage you're on, how do you keep track of how much time you spent on each stage? And this sort of also goes back to the question of how I was able to build out that entire pathway of how I went through my business process. Because all this is stored in, so every time you move stages in a business process, we also make an update to a table called the workflow logs. And so every movement is really timestamped with, for this process, you move to this stage at this time. So you can really look through, for a given business process run, look through its logs to figure out what stages, what timestamp, and figure out how much time you spent in each stage, how you progress through the process.
You said that's the workflow log?
Yes. I believe, sorry, it's called process logs. Yeah. Any other questions?
How long
Yes.
are the approval details stored, like from an audit perspective?
So the question was, how long are the approval details stored from an audit perspective? Now, if you, with approvals now being stored in the common data service, retention is per whatever you set up to be in the common data service. So yeah. So to answer your question more concretely there, you get to decide how long you want to keep it in there for. Yes?
What happens to the record once you reject it?
So the question was, what happens to the record once you reject it? The record continues to exist. So the approvals really have three parts to it: the actual approval, the requests that go out, and the responses that come in. So if you reject an approval, we will record your response to it. Similarly, we'll record the responses of anybody else who responds to it. And based on that, we decide an outcome. Now, if the outcome is rejected, it still lives inside of the common data service. You just get to decide what you do with it.
So it won't move to the next step, right?
Yeah, if you decide that if it's rejected, it shouldn't move to the next step, it won't. Yeah. Any other questions?
When you reject it,
Sure. So the question is, if you reject it, in case of like something like a document review, does it sort of reopen the approval so that they can make their edits and then review it and accept it again? So once you action an approval, that is the only final action for the approval. What you can do, however, in automated flows is loop. So what you can do is to say, if an approval is rejected, go ahead, send your comments to this particular person, and then keep on sending approval requests until such time it's approved. Yes?
Can approvals auto-expire? Like if you take no action, they'll just get rejected?
So the question was, can approvals auto-expire? Today, in a sense, yes. So flow runs today expire in 30 days. You can, because again, approval information is stored in the common data service, you can actually build in logic to say, if I haven't received an approval response in, say, 7 days, go ahead and mark this particular approval as rejected. Any other questions? All right. So just a quick call to action. We've seen a lot of stuff today on what approvals are, what business processes are, the stuff that's coming out soon, what's on our roadmap, and it is a fair bit to digest. So after this session, take some time to really familiarize yourselves with approvals and with business process flows if you haven't already, and sort of think about the different processes within your organization that today require people or are very manual and cannot be automated and might benefit from having something like an approval process or a human-driven process flow. To help you get started, I have a whole bunch of resources here, right from your first, how you build your first approval, to how you create approvals to custom responses, and if you run into a situation where you have long-running approval processes that happen over, say, months, how you can build these long-running approval process flows. Similarly, for business process flows, we have a video series posted on YouTube that guides you through building embedded business process flows, right from customizing the entity to building model-driven apps to actually putting the business process in it to get you started. Of course, we also have our guide on how you can participate in the preview to add rich controls to your business process. So with that, thank you all so much for coming out today. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes if you have any questions. We do value your feedback, so if you have any feedback for me or for the content of the session, please do evaluate this session and let me know. Thanks.